Welcome! It is Monday, January 25th, 2010. This week we're talking about victories. What do you believe your biggest victories have been on this journey thus far, scale and non-scale related, and why? So this week we're talking about victories. How exciting. We get to celebrate a little, and celebration is one of the keys to staying on the journey. That is for sure. Not necessarily celebrating with food. We did a whole week on that now. But celebrating something you've done and really appreciating the work that you've done and encouraging yourself because of the celebration to then go forward. Victories for me, I've been a lot of non-scale victories, but I've had some scale victories. My biggest scale victory by far was getting to 160 pounds. I know I've got down to 158, but 160 was like this dream number way out in the distance that I never thought I would hit. I started losing weight January 2008, which was 2 years ago. I started doing YouTube videos May 2008, which was a year and a half ago. And honestly, when I started, I honestly felt like I'm never going to get there. But I might as well throw it out there because that's what I want to be. So if you look at my very first, or like my first weigh-in where you see my body, I had already lost 15-ish pounds at that point, but that was when I had really committed and started YouTube. And with the real commitment, I knew I needed to have a solid goal in the future. So I said, I want to hit 160, and I said I think like 145 I would be really thin, and it's proving to be true. It was an accurately calculated goal weight, but I never actually thought I was going to get there. I mean, I hoped, I really wanted it, but when you've never been a weight before, when you've never been normal sized, thin at all in your life, except for like when you're a little kid. But I mean, as an adult, it's impossible nearly to imagine being at that place. So for me, the scale victory would have to be hitting 160 pounds because, well, you saw my video probably. If not, go back and watch it. I think it's called Holy Shit Goal! But that was just huge for me. And then getting below 160 was just sort of like a dream fantasy land. Non-scale victories, though, are the ones that are the most important. Hitting your goals for weight loss is very exciting, but as you get toward the end, as we all see with so many people, the weight becomes a lot less relevant, and it becomes about your body, it becomes about your capabilities, it becomes about all the other goals that you've made surrounding your weight loss. You know, Truly Jess readjusted her goal weight because her body just did not want to go down to the original weight Weight Watchers had set for her. Jason is reconsidering his final weight because he's seeing his weight go up and down, but he's losing body fat. So we all come to this point where the weight can't be the only factor that we consider because there's so many other things going on, and we always talk about that here. One thing that was huge for me was becoming a runner, and we did this topic last year with a whole different crew, and I said the same thing. Running would be the huge milestone. Beginning to love running, wanting to be a runner, was just a dramatic mindset shift for me, which changed my whole attitude toward what I'm now talking about, which is the point when the weight stops to matter so much and it becomes about everything else. Becoming a runner was gigantic, and I would say, in answering this question now, again, it would be rock climbing. And I have Truly Jess to thank for that, for forcing us to try one new exercise during her challenge, her Christmas Losers Challenge, I think it was. Rock climbing for me personally is just an enormous step into the unknown, the place where I never thought I could go, because it requires the use of my hands, which, although they're so like normal hands now, they're still never going to be normal hands. They're not going to have skin like you have. And so it's an extraordinary challenge for me, but going every week, and I'm getting up walls I never thought I would get up before. Every time I go, I can do a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. It's going on a few months now, and I can do things that when I first walked into the place, I thought, I am never going to do that. I just have to accept it now. I'm never going to do that, and now I'm doing it, and it's unbelievable. So that would be a gigantic victory for me now, would be beyond the running, it's the rock climbing. But I think all of that speaks to the overwhelming victory, which is I've made a lifestyle change. I have. It's no longer a question of, am I on a diet? Am I sticking to plan? These are all things I have to monitor. But the end result is that my life is, in fact, now healthy on the whole. I'm a relatively athletic, relatively raw foodist sort of being, and there's no perfection. I'm always going to want to be better, and I'm working toward giving up bad habits and starting new ones. But the overall victory is that it's no longer a question of whether I'm on a diet or not. It's no longer a question. It just is. It is who I am. It is what I'm living, and there's no ambiguity, and there's no waffling between being on track and being off track. I can make a decision that's going to be not on my normal guidelines, like going to Denny's at 4 in the morning and getting French fries. But, you know, as long as that stays not a habitual daily or weekly thing, it's fine. Because I know, on the whole, I'm now living a healthy lifestyle and feeling great about life and about my body and about how I approach all these things, the exercise and the food. So I suppose that is a bit rambly, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Honestly, the victory is becoming that healthy person, becoming that thin person who takes care of themselves. That's just an enormous, enormous thing that has changed. It's like my whole mind, my whole life has changed as a result of this progress I'm going through to lose the weight and keep it off forever. So I hope you enjoyed. I will talk to you next Monday. Stay tuned tomorrow for Natalie. I'll see you next week. Bye!